Folks, hope you're well. Siam here for an end of the month, or it's actually now the beginning of the month, update. So you're probably looking at the charts and pulling your hair out. We are, despite all of the fundamentals going on at the moment, which is actually net bullish by a country mile, price action is not demonstrating that. So a few little points. First of all, let's look at the VIX. So the VIX is the volatility index that is, or AKA the global fear index. What happens if we zoom out here on the weekly chart? You can see that the VIX has sort of a resting position roughly in this sort of amber zone. And I think I should probably invert the colours here, because it's actually when we get in the green zone here where I actually get a little bit worried. When we get into the low volatility band, that is where we see triggers. And when you see the spiking of the VIX, that means there's some news event that's happened and it's triggered, fear. And that's what's happened. We got pretty damn low for a couple of months around here, and then boom, and we've had a few of these. So that's literally all that's happened. The world is having a little bit of fear. So when we look at the main markets like the S&P 500, we're having some very bearish looking sort of setups here. So if you take the S&P 500, we got, it looks like it could possibly follow through there. Again, with the Dow Jones, the Nasdaq, everything's falling. So this is nothing. This little tumble with crypto is not crypto related. We're seeing this across the board. And if you look at the FANG TM stocks, again, we're seeing a lot of negative price action happening here. And remember, these FANG TM stocks are pretty much the whole market. So for the FANG, I say FANG, it's the old Facebook days. It's Meta, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Nvidia, Google, Tesla, Microsoft, MicroStrategy. So you can see that with pre-trading, they're about to be gapping down when they open up later. Well, I say later, it's not long now to the US markets open. So, and a lot of them, like Microsoft, we're seeing similar topping patterns. So again, nothing structurally has changed crypto. You don't need to worry. Yes, there could be a bit of a tumble, but a lot of this is all due to the tariffs and warmongering going on. So Trump is there literally trying to do everything possible to sort of have peace. It doesn't matter what you think his reasons are. He just wants the fighting to stop. But obviously Europe is now banging that war drum. They're trying to, escalate things. So I think that's where a lot of this fear is coming, and why the markets are, a bit turbulent. And also the tariffs. A lot of people are thinking, Trump is just, wielding these tariffs, willy-nilly, and he's screwing over the world economy and all that. It really isn't the case. Every single tariff that's being put up now is a reciprocal tariff. And this is not what you're seeing in the mainstream media. It's like, Trump tariffs, yada, yada, yada. All he's doing is he's setting, equilibrium. So there are all sorts of taxes and tariffs on the US at the moment, and it's all heavily weighted against the US. So if you take the 20% tariffs to China, he's just bashed out, that's now bringing things neutral because of the tariffs from China to the US. So there's a lot of context missing out there. So again, all of this will calm down a bit. And to be honest, Europe doesn't really have the fighting capability to put much up against in this war. Contrary to popular belief, I know there's a lot of big nations in there, but when it comes to stumping up the money and actually getting hardware, kit and bodies, it is not enough. So the main choke point, or the bottleneck from a resources allocation perspective in Ukraine at the moment, is not tech or hardware or F-16s or Abrams or whatever. It's actual bodies. It's fighting fit adult males, which is why adult males are being abducted in the streets of the Ukraine at the moment. It is literally, they're sending disabled men to the front lines at the moment for cannon fodder. It's just nuts. So that will taper down eventually. That sort of effect will sort of weaken on the markets, and this is why I'm just sat in my hands doing nothing at the moment. We've been in these situations before where nothing structurally has changed with crypto, and then we see V reversals. We see stuff like this. I mean, this is Microsoft, but I mean, if you look at Bitcoin, again, we're on the daily chart. We've seen many sort of tumbles like this, and then you just V reverse out of this. This is absolutely nothing new. And if you're to look at Bitcoin from a much bigger perspective, if we take the weekly on the log, I've done this many times, so sorry if you're bored about hearing this, but you can do this yourself. Literally just get the date and price range, and then literally count, like go back into previous cycles and count all the times that Bitcoin had a bit of a wobble. You can see here in 2017, the amount of 30% or more drops right in the heart of the bull market. Obviously, things are going to get less volatile because it's bigger. So in the last bull market in 2021, we had again, throughout the whole rally, we had multiple 15 to 20% drops. This is, no different. All we've had really in this green zone is it does go down there, a 30% drop in mid-2024, and now we are having a 24% drop. So, I'm expecting many more, so don't worry. Bitcoin always V-reverses out of this. Just look at what's happened beforehand. I remember this one actually, mid-2020 and November. You remember the global economy had basically grinded to a halt, with lockdowns and everything, and everyone thought it was the end of the world. But what did Bitcoin do? It just absolutely pumped out of this. And one of the reasons it pumped out of it is because of stimulus. So this, I think, takes us to the next... where is this? Oh, I haven't even put it on here. The stimulus. So if we look at the US dollar, there is like a 99.9999999% chance or probability that the US dollar will drop precipitously this year. And I've only put this line here up to 2026 because that's really all that matters at the moment. And there is no other way, there is literally no real scenario where this goes up. So Trump's, in fact, it's almost an identical play to 2016. Like you had a strong dollar rallying into the first Trump election, and what he does is he uses a strong dollar to sort of as a negotiating tactic to beat other countries up on the negotiating table, because a strong dollar hurts other countries, and because every country on the planet has debt in US denominated debt, so a strong dollar hurts their debt refinancing, their debt serviceability, etc. And then, Trump also doesn't want that because it hurts US exports. So once he gets his deals, then the dollar crashes, and that is beautiful for risk on assets. When the dollar goes down, risk on assets go up. So stocks, commodities, crypto, they all boom up. And we're having a pretty much an identical setup at the moment. So once this tariff season is out of the way, we will continue seeing the dollar to drop as it is already. It's already starting to fall. And the other reason why the dollar has to drop is that countries around the world are no longer gobbling up US debt anymore. They're either buying a lot less or none at all. Like take Russia and China, which means no one's rocking up to the lemonade stand, the US lemonade stand. And so who is left to buy US bonds when the rest of the world won't buy them? The Federal Reserve. There's only one buyer left, and they are now forced. So it's like you having a lemonade stand and you've got no buyers, so your parents keep on buying your lemonade to give you the incorrect air that of success. So what's going to happen is the Federal Reserve is going to start gobbling up way more bonds. Again, this adds negative pressure to the dollar, and someone's at the door. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. So the Fed will start buying bonds, dollar will go down, everything goes up. Stocks and crypto goes up. But the other big reason, which I think is the burning house reason why the dollar will fall, is because of the maturity wall. I'm going all over the place here. Oh, I'm so unfit, I'm out of breath just running down the stairs. This is the US maturity wall. In the US, so we have until, well, we've got really 9 months. When I say we, the US has just over $9 trillion worth of debt that they have to refinance and roll over in the next 9 months. It's absolutely ridiculous. So they have, this is roughly 30% of all debt. If in fact we can work this out very quickly, go to US debt clock and look at the debt. So we've got roughly 9.1 trillion that needs to be refied, and it's so 9.1 divided by 36.55, that's 24.8. So we've got 24.8% of US debt that needs to be refied and rolled over the next 9 months. So what we will have is a mass fall. Well, I say mass fall, it's probably bad terminology, but US interest rates will fall. They have to fall. You cannot refi 25% of your nation's debt in a 9-month period without rates come crashing down. And as Besant has been obsessed with, the 10-year to come crashing down. Like he's openly said, he's going to manipulate the 10-year to come down. So, yeah, we're going to see lower rates, falling dollar, stocks and risk-on assets blowing up to the upside because we've got $9.1 trillion that needs to be refied. Like, I hear no one talking about this, and that is the burning house reason why my outlook, I can't see, I can't see a way that this doesn't happen. There is like no way. And I spend 99% of my brain cycles trying to figure out why I'm wrong here, and I still come up blank. So this really is the way. Just wait for that dollar to really start moving down. It's going to push crypto up. And also, if we do have like a stock market crash or wobble, that exacerbates the situation even more, and it forces them to expedite the printing. The inevitable printing is going to happen anyway. So, yeah, I really wouldn't worry. And there's so many bullish things. I mean, Saylor, he's launching a 3-year, $42 billion raise. He's already raised, I think, about 18 billion in the first sort of month of launching that. So he's going to be trying to do even more. And the US is launching a strategic crypto reserve. I'm not a fan that it's a crypto reserve. I much prefer it to be a Bitcoin reserve. But either way, because they're launching that strategic crypto reserve, it's giving credibility to crypto, full stop. It's just a shame that he's had to include literal shitcoins in this crypto reserve. Solana, which breaks. Literally, last Tuesday it broke. Cardano, Ripple, like there's huge amounts of Washington lobbying going on behind the scenes. So yeah. And then also they're going to be launching a sovereign wealth fund, which, you know, crypto will be a part of that. There's so many, and there's many states that are trying to adopt a strategic Bitcoin reserve as well. So everything is very bullish. So when you look at, you know, obviously I'm very heavy in Tau. So looking at the price like this, it just looks horrendous, doesn't it? You know, a couple of weeks ago we were up here in the 700s. We're now down to 266 today as we look at this. But again, we've been here before. This is nothing new. The reason I haven't sidestepped this is, one, I control a lot of Tau, and so it is actually pretty hard for me to do a full sidestep. And also, I don't want to be caught with my pants down where, you know, I mean, sidestepping right now down here is just not good. I did think about doing it around here because there was a bit of a resistance here, but I thought, oh, is this the V reversal that I've been waiting for? There was a possibility that, you know, we would see that sort of movement, but we haven't, and so yeah, hey ho, shoulda, woulda, coulda. But I'm just waiting for, you know, that sort of movement, and it will happen. It will happen. But we just got to give it time. Anyway, yeah, so we're down quite a lot for this month, or in fact the last couple of months it's down, but we're just waiting now. So yeah, right, hope this finds you well. Yeah, it's just a waiting game, a very frustrating waiting game.